Hi, if you want long haircuts with long layered hair, I will show you how to hack the Flowbee hair clippers intended for short hairstyles to cut haircuts for girls with long hair. The Flowbee hair trimmer will give foolproof haircuts to you and your family even if you don't have any haircutting experience. Knowing how to cut your own hair adds up huge savings for the long run with money and travel time. Although Flowbee has some annoying flaws, the irresistible pros I've listed has kept me happy with using it for the past 8 years. To achieve this 15-inch layered haircut, I bought an extra set of spacers. Out of the box, Flowbee provides spacers for haircuts up to 7.5 inches. I got my Flowbee from my dad, and he bought it when he was, I don't know when he bought it. I think he bought it in the 80s or 90s. Yes, it still works. It's pretty amazing. I am not advertising for Flowbee. This is just my experience cutting my own hair and something I feel excited to share with you. Some parts are already attached to my vacuum, so I'll show you in the following picture. This is the blade. These are the spacers for the blade, and this is the oil for the blade, the power cord. This hose connects to your vacuum cleaner, and this connector seals the connection. This was not included in my box. Flaw number 1 is the rubbery vacuum connector that seals the suction in between the hose and the vacuum. I find tape works just as good or even better, and I didn't have the need to buy a new one. Flaw number 2 is going to be pretty obvious with the vacuum running and the blade running. Loud noise. Super loud noise. I find earplugs a must if you're going to use the Flowbee hair trimmer. Aside from the obvious flaws, poor quality in the replacement part was a problem. There were really big gaps between these new spacers. This creates a really poor suction. If put together, it's really flimsy. And my solution? Yes, tape again. Tape is the superhero here. Lightly pinch the spacers to add or remove spacers. Before reinforcing the spacers with tape, you can see the spacers are really wobbly and the suction is really poor. To ensure a good quality haircut, the setup is necessary for good suction and stability. But once done, you don't have to do it again if you're going to keep the same length of hairstyle in every trim. The setup for a long layered haircut probably takes longer than the haircut itself. Especially if you're doing shorter haircuts, the setup and the haircut would take even less time. To start your haircut, turn the vacuum and blades on and feed your hair into the spacer. Keep using tapping motions towards your head until you've cut the whole layer. You can't really mess up using the Flowbee. Flowbee won't cut more or less than the spacer you've set. It's recommended to cut ½ inch to 1 inch off at a time. I used 2 sets of spacers for the longest length possible. Even a kid can cut their own hair once the length of the spacers have been set up. Flowbee also recommends cutting excess hair off, leaving about 1 inch for the trimmer to cut. With the hacks that I've just shown you, you are definitely not limited to short hairstyles. You and your family can get the exact style you want. The hair cutting itself is pretty straightforward, not very complicated. You can't really mess up. So I think a hair cutting system like the Flowbee is a very good investment. There are a few other hair cutting systems out there after the Flowbee came out. If you want to check them out, I'll leave a link below. Unfortunately, I won't be able to tell you if they work well or not compared to the Flowbee. I haven't used those systems before. I won't need a replacement until my Flowbee breaks. You let me know how the other systems work. If you found this review and tutorial helpful in encouraging you to try and cut your own hair, share this video with your friends and be sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more future tutorials like this one. Thanks for watching. Bye!